Christian, that struck me as a rather interesting qualifying session. Normally you have 15 minutes to do your job. Tell me about 4.5 minutes, maybe at most. Reminded me a little bit of your IndyCar days. Perform instantly.
Yeah, pretty much. I think you said it all. Sometimes you need to perform instantly, and as I had mentioned, there were times in my racing career where I got it right, and there are times where I got it wrong, but at least I learned the lesson. And when I was sitting in the car, when it went back green again, I knew I had to perform instantly, and I knew I had to do like every single lap, no matter if the tires were up to ultimate temperature or not. I knew I had to perform to the max because you never know if you're going to get another red flag, and then they were going to throw the checkered, and I had a car that could be on pole, but just because I was sleeping on the first lap, I really wasn't on pole. Different to the beginning of the session. When I went out the beginning of the session, I managed to open 2 times like a flying lap, and I was only running about 85–90%, really to take care of the tires, make sure that they came in okay, because I was expecting, as you mentioned, to have 10 minutes. But as the session panned out, in the end it was different, and I had already some heat in the tires, and I said, man, now it's time to go. I need to go and see what I can get out of the baby.
Your pole lap was fun to watch. How much was the car moving around, again, knowing that you weren't necessarily at optimal pressure and temperatures?
Well, it was moving. I struggled a little bit in turn 1. I had more push than what I was expecting. The back end was decent, but it wasn't the best it has been. When we came testing here prior to Austin, the car was definitely better when we did our quick laps than what it was in, for example, qualifying. But still, it's pretty much what you have, and you have to make the best with what we have or what we had today, and this is what I was striving for.
With all the work you've done leading up to this race and the championship you have right in front of you, you go to sleep tonight with a little bit of rest in your mind. You feel comfortable, or are you still feeling a little pressured to at least get that the race started tomorrow?
Well, there are a couple of layers that we have to go through tomorrow, and as you mentioned, the first one is to start the car and make sure that it goes out on the parade lap. Then we're going to get the team championship, which is very important for us because there was a huge amount of effort from Chevy, Action Express, and these guys is what brought João and I where we are right now. Then is basically to get João and I the 45 minutes in, and once we get that through that hour and a half, no matter where we are in the race, if we're leading the race or if we're, for example, dead last, but once we get that over with, then we're gonna look at the smaller pictures, which is the race win and obviously the Patron North American Endurance Championship. But really, we're focusing on the first hour and a half. The only thing that probably we're going to do is we're going to take it a little bit easier, like we did in Austin.